Hello dear viewers, a very warm welcome to our channel. It's very good to have you here. In this video, we are going to have a look at engine killer mistakes that you should avoid in order to prolong the service life of your engine. Right here we have a 4-cylinder sectioned engine where we have cylinder number 4, cylinder number 3, number 2 and number 1 here, and the crankshaft is also made out visible. We have the oil pump right there, the oil sump, all the components are visible right here. If you go up here, we have the valve train components where we have the valve, the push rod, and all the valve closing springs, all those components. Now, engines are the heart of any vehicle and any machinery, and poor maintenance or poor operation practices can lead to catastrophic failure. If the engine is not well maintained, if the components are not well lubricated, and it is not kept properly, it will lead to catastrophic engine failure. So, let's have a look at some of the common engine killer mistakes. Well, the number one engine killer mistake is ignoring oil change. As you can see, there are so many moving parts. You see here, the connecting rod is connected to the crankshaft and moving. The crankshaft is supported on main journal bearings like right here and right here. You can see all these are moving at high speed and they need lubrication. Running the engine old, degraded, or if the engine is running with old, degraded or insufficient oil, that will result in catastrophic engine failure. Not checking oil level frequently is also another very deadly problem. So always make it a habit before starting your engine and before setting off for a journey. Make sure that you are checking there is enough oil in the oil sump. If less lubrication is available, that will result in increased friction between the connecting rod and crankshaft, between the crankshaft and main journal, and between the cylinder wall and the piston itself. That will accelerate wear on the valve train components as well. And accelerated metal on metal contact will lead to seized engine. And it will also lead to overheating. As you can see, some of the heat that is produced in here will be dissipated as a result of the oil. Oil will also help in cooling. So if sufficient cooling is not there as a result of low oil level, that can lead to engine overheating. So always follow the manufacturer's recommended oil change intervals so that your oil will be changed regularly and in time, and also check oil levels at least once a month. Use the correct oil viscosity and oil type for your specific engine. So the number one engine killer is not checking engine oil or ignoring oil changes and low oil levels. 2. Overheating engine. This is also deadly. This is a very huge mistake. If the engine is overheating as a result of any of a problem associated with bad timing or wrong cooling system, if there is a problem with the water pump, if there is a problem with the fan, if there is a problem with the radiator, that can all lead to engine overheating, or if it is accelerated, if it is overloaded, and if the coolant system is not checked. Ignoring coolant leak or low coolant level can lead to engine overheating. Driving with a malfunctioning thermostat or a malfunctioning water pump. Right here we have a water pump. Driving an engine with a malfunctioning water pump can also lead to engine overheating. And heavy loads, engine overloading, driving it in extreme heat without proper cooling can also be catastrophic. It will lead to warped cylinder head. Right here we have a cylinder head. If the cooling system is not efficient enough, this will overheat. As you can see, at the end of the compression stroke, massive explosion is taking place right in here. That will expose the cylinder head to extremely high temperature, and that can lead to warped cylinder head if the cooling system is not uniform and if it is not working properly. It will also lead to blown head gasket. Piston sees these pistons, they tend to expand. When engine is overheating, piston will tend to expand, but the cylinder is preventing it from doing so. It will lead to seized piston. So what can you do? Always monitor the temperature gauge when you are driving. If you happen to notice that the temperature gauge has reached the red zone, then you should stop the engine and fix the issue immediately. Fix coolant leaking immediately. Ensure the radiator, the fan and water pump are functioning properly. By doing so, you can prevent your engine from overheating. Overheating is very deadly and damaging to your engine. The third problem that is killer to an engine is using the wrong fuel or using wrong oil. Putting diesel in gasoline engine, for example, or putting gasoline in a diesel engine, that is very catastrophic. Using low quality or incorrect oil viscosity for lubrication, that is also very deadly. Oil viscosity has to be checked. So always make sure that you are using the correct fuel type, and correct rating of the fuel. If the fuel is not correctly monitored, fuel system damage will result. That will damage the injectors, injection pump, filters, pumps. All this can get damaged as a result of wrong type of oil. Poor lubrication can also result in, due to wrong viscosity oil, that will accelerate wear. So always use the fuel type specified in your owner's manual, and use high quality oil and correct oil viscosity when oil replacement is done. 4. Cold starting with excessive reviving. When the engine is cold, when it is started, oil was initially in the oil pump, then it has to be pushed by this oil pump. The oil pump has to pump oil to the upper part of the engine. The cylinder, the valves, all these components, they get lubricated after the engine has started. And in here, there are oil passages in the crankshaft. All those drillings, oil passages will get lubricated after the engine has started. So reviving a cold engine aggressively before oil circulates is very deadly to your engine. Metal on metal parts will wear fast. Metal parts will expand unevenly. That will result in increased wear. Poor lubrication and premature bearing failure will result. If you accelerate with low lubrication at the connecting rod or low lubrication at the main journal, that can accelerate wear. So what can you do in order to prevent this? Always let the engine idle for some minutes. 30 to 60 seconds will be enough in cold weather. Let it idle for 30 to 60 seconds, 1 minute, and then drive gently until the engine reaches operating temperature. Just don't accelerate, don't revive a cold started engine once you started it. 5. Ignoring the strange noises and warning lights. This is also another deadly mistake that is done. Ignoring knocking sound, ticking sound, or grinding sound, or disregarding check engine light can also lead to catastrophic engine failure. So every time when you check there is a rod knock, when there is knock, that could be very damaging, and catastrophic engine damage will result if it is ignored. If there is a problem with the timing belt, if the timing is not properly maintained, that can also result in bent valve seat, valve bent push rod, and all those could result from improper valve timing. Right there is a timing chain that is connecting the crankshaft to the camshaft. Now if that is not properly maintained, if that is not properly timed, that can result in damage to the valve train components as well. So investigate unusual sound immediately. If you happen to notice there are unusual noises coming from your engine, have them investigated immediately and use an OBD2 scanner to diagnose what is causing the check engine light to turn on. The other common problem is neglecting air filter and fuel filter maintenance. Right here we have an air filter that will allow filtered air to be admitted into the engine. Running a clogged air filter for too long or never replacing fuel filters and oil filters can also be damaging to your engine. That will reduce airflow. If the air cleaner is clogged, that will result in choked engine. That will result in poor combustion and carbon buildup inside the cylinder. And if it is a low or bad oil filter, fuel filter, that can result in injector clogging and pump failure as well. So replace air filters every 12,000 to 15,000 miles. Check for fuel filters as per manufacturer's specification and replace them immediately once the timing has reached. So by doing so, you can supply your engine with fresh fuel, clean fuel. Lubricating oil will also be clean, and clean air as well. Ignoring oil leak is another problem, another very deadly problem. Not fixing oil leaks or leaks that can come from valve covers. Sometimes the valve cover might be leaking. Leaks coming from the drain plugs. All these, they need to be fixed. Low oil level will result if leakage is not stopped immediately. That will go to low oil levels, and that will gradually lead to engine seizure. Oil dripping on exhaust can also be a cause for engine fire. So fix oil leaks as soon as they are detected. Check under the car for oil spots regularly. By checking so, you can also eliminate any type of leakage ahead of time. Whenever you are replacing parts, if you are using cheap or incorrect parts, that can be damaging to your engine. For example, if you are replacing cheap spark plugs instead of the recommended one, installing the wrong spark plug heat range or wrong plug gap can cause a misfire. It can result in unburned fuel. It can result in failure to the catalytic converter as well. And using counterfeit or low quality parts can also be damaging. Replacing them at the specified interval is very crucial, and replacing them with original manufacturer supplied part is also very crucial. By doing so, you can elongate your engine service life. So always make sure that you are following regular maintenance. Regular maintenance is cheaper than engine rebuilding. Always remember this. And listen to your engine while driving. Unusual sounds mean trouble. Have them addressed immediately. And never ignore warning lights. It could be a check engine light, or it could be a low oil light. Whatever warning that appears on your dashboard, it could be a high temperature warning. It has to be addressed immediately. So by avoiding these engine killer mistakes, you can extend your engine life by hundreds of thousands of miles, and your engine will be very dependable, and it will be good to run for the coming many years. By doing so, you can elongate the service life of your engine. Well, dear viewers, that is all we have for you regarding some of engine killer mistakes that you need to avoid. If you find this video helpful, and if you like what has been presented, please smash the like button. If you are new to this channel, and do consider subscribing, turn on notifications so that you will be the first to get notified whenever we come up with another video. Until then, stay safe.